Christine from Fly By Night Press. We're here today in the Dutch city of Delft.
Delft is a wonderful old Dutch city where current trends and futuristic technologies are very much alive. From the old canals, paintings, churches, and windmills to futuristic technologies at Delft's university, Delft has been a vibrant city through the ages and continues to inspire young minds. Delft is located in South Holland, in the Netherlands, between The Hague and Rotterdam, and was first chartered as a city in 1246. Since that time, many of its inhabitants have contributed greatly to human progress and cultural development. Let's talk about 5 ways that Delft has changed the course of history. 1. Politics. William of Orange, commonly seen as the father of the country, took up residence here in 1572. He led the Dutch resistance against the ruling Spanish during the 80 Years' War. He led his operations from Delft, making it the de facto capital. Delft was able to defend itself against Spanish attacks because of its thick walls and prominent location. Thanks to William, the Netherlands became independent in 1582 under his leadership as Prince of Orange. The national anthem still sings his praises, and his descendants still make up the royal family. To this day, all royals are buried in the Leeuwenhoek in Delft. Without William and Delft, the Netherlands might still have been part of Spain. 2. Trade. Delft is famous throughout the world for its blue and white porcelain. You may have seen or heard of Delft ware, windmills or clogs, tiles or plates, which are iconic of Holland. They follow the Chinese tradition of ceramics that were often imported to Europe during the 17th century. In 1602, the Dutch East Indies Company, or VOC, was established. This company became a big international importer, shipping goods to and from all corners of the globe. Among other goods, they brought the coveted Chinese porcelain to Dutch soil. The technique for producing this porcelain was eventually learned by the Dutch and exported from Holland to many destinations in Europe. It is still produced at the Royal Delft factory and can be found randomly scattered throughout the city. Delftware is evidence of a powerful development of trade in Holland. Some consider the VOC to be the forerunner to modern global corporations. 3. Art. Delft is definitely a city for tourists who flock here to buy porcelain, tour the scenic streets full of bridges and canals, and visit the birthplace of the famous Dutch painter Johannes Vermeer. Vermeer was one of the many master artists born in Delft. Born in 1632, he devoted his life entirely to art. He painted familiar scenes around his home, houses, common people, and middle-class interiors. Though he created relatively few paintings, he is considered to be one of the greatest artists of the Golden Age Dutch painters. Vermeer is especially loved for the beautiful light he created in his paintings. Several books and movies have been written about his life and have been read and viewed internationally. The recent Girl with the Pearl Earring is one example. His life and works can be appreciated at the Vermeer Center in the middle of Delft. Just up the street is the believed location of his work, the Little Street. Though the original buildings represented in his painting no longer stand here, the location he used as a model is marked with the printed segment of his painting. We strolled up the street to find it. Vermeer is one of our favorites, and we especially like this painting. Vermeer's paintings have brought the praise and appreciation of art lovers and academics around the world. 4. Science. Delft's connection with science leads us back to a man named Antoni van Leeuwenhoek, the inventor of the modern microscope. He was a contemporary of Vermeer, and both are buried in the Oude Kerk in Delft. Van Leeuwenhoek was also born in Delft. He worked as a draper in his youth and as an adult, but also began dabbling in lens making. The lenses were useful in examining the fibers of the cloth he dealt in, but he eventually created a lens that could magnify by 270 times, much more than the lenses already developed in England. With his tiny but powerful new lens, he was able to see tiny organisms, which he called animalcules. In 1674, his findings were published by the British Royal Society. His discovery changed the world and gave birth to a new field of study, microbiology. Delft itself is considered the birthplace of microbiology partly because of van Leeuwenhoek, but also because of Martinus Beijerinck, who lived and worked here in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He is the guy that discovered viruses, so the field of virology owes a lot to him. 5. Technology. Also in Delft is the well-respected TU Delft, the Delft University of Technology. It's like the MIT of the Netherlands and is well known in Europe and throughout the world for its high-quality academics and cutting-edge advances in engineering. Students and researchers from TU Delft have, in recent years, won international awards for solar-powered vehicles, high-speed public transport concepts, and human-powered speed. The old and the new intermingle in intriguing harmony in Delft. The old church and the new church, 400-year-old houses and the latest high-tech bikes, artisans that have been making their crafts for centuries, and academics that are reinventing clean new technologies every year. Maybe the great minds of Delft's past give its modern residents something to live up to.